Well, that explains everything. I'll just let the Telvanni know. I'm sure Mage Virian will understand.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought for sure you were going to kill me.
I am. I hate when my leathers get wet. And this is a new outfit, too. Ah, well. I suppose we ought to discuss what you're doing here. I have to admit, when I saw you, I thought, what the tusk are you doing down here? Pardon my Orcish. Did you really follow me across the continent? That shows commitment. Kind of creepy, but still a lot of commitment. Oh, that's not what I expected. But you can just turn around and leave. You're not going to find her. Veya's going through a difficult time right now. And the last thing she needs is some House Redrin lackey adding to her pain and confusion. I know you, hero. It's old man Eris I don't trust. He didn't tell you about Veya's brother, did he? How House Redrin exiled their favorite son. No? I didn't think so. Veya deserves answers, and I promise to help her. You need to just walk away. Outsiders? Is her father really that desperate? Look, tell Eris that Veya's safe and you'll see her soon, but no more outsiders. If my organization gets skittish, they'll return to the shadows and take Veya with them. They'll only deal with you. Well, it's not exactly a lie, and I don't want things to get out of hand. I'll arrange a meeting, provided Veya agrees. You let Eris know she's safe. Get him to stop hiring freelancers before someone gets hurt. I'll send word when we're ready. Ah, were you imagining a hot bath, a bottle of wine, and a secluded cottage with a roaring fire? Me too. Instead, we're up to our armpits in the usual muck and mire, just like old times. All this, and things are looking up for my organization, too. I suppose if you're in for a sliver, you might as well be in for the log. I'm with the Morrowind, and what you witnessed was a legal murder. According to my writ, the orc had to die. So, I killed him. Now, if you don't mind, I need to get back to Veya. Veya and I have a history. Her brother, too. They were good kids. Liked to watch me train. Now I feel responsible for her. When she came to me looking for help and asked to join the Morrowind, who was I to refuse? That was her decision, not mine. Veya's good with a blade and tracks like a Nord Ranger. She's a natural at this, and it gives me a chance to keep an eye on her. So now I'm her mentor and she's my apprentice. I wouldn't have it any other way. That was poetry in motion. Not only is my organization getting choice assignments again, but we're starting to recover some of our prestige. Specifically, these Malakath cultists interfered with House Telvanni, so they had to be dealt with. Oh, him? No one special. Just the leader of this particular band of mad cultists. His name was on the writ, so I had to end him. It's what I do, after all, and I do it so well. Sorry about all the subterfuge, but we can't be too careful when it comes to security around here. Don't be so eager, my darling. It reveals too much about your ultimate intentions. But yes, Veya would very much like to meet with you. You intrigue her, and your connection to her father could prove beneficial once she knows she can trust you. Redwin records. House officials keep track of everything. Incidents, commendations, births and deaths. Whether important or mundane, they detail it all in their registry. Veya believes the registry contains information about her brother Ulron. Don't sound so offended. You had to know your hands were going to get dirty eventually. You are dealing with assassins and politicians, after all. The local keeper of records, Lord Drono, is away, so security at his townhouse should be light. You can find Lord Drono's townhouse right here in Balmoral. He's away on business, but that doesn't mean you don't have to be careful. Just get in, get the registry, and get back out again. I'll be here, anxiously awaiting your return. Still alive, I see. And since you're here, that means you weren't captured and hauled off to a Virian dungeon. Good for you. Were you able to acquire the registry? And does it contain any information about Thea's brother, Ulran? Ulran was exiled? That can't be right. He's an exemplary officer and a good man. Plus, he's the son of a counselor. Why in oblivion would House Redrin banish one of their brightest stars? I can see that. There has to be more to the story, but I'm not sure how we get it. Still, you proved you could be trusted, and you admirably performed this task. So I suppose I should let you meet with Vea now. There's an abandoned cave along the coast. It's in the swamp and smells like rot, which makes it the perfect place to hide. Vea's supposed to wait inside, but she's bored. I know she's been sneaking out. You'll find her in the cave or just outside. Get to the swamp and find Vea. She's eager for any information about her brother, so she's really going to appreciate getting that registry. Just try not to be too charming when you meet her hero. She has enough distractions as it is. Vea would face too many temptations here in Balmoral. Friends, favorite places, familiar sights and sounds, not to mention the proximity to all things House Redrin. Even the most thick-headed house guard would eventually stumble over her. Oh, don't thank me, hero. As long as you're useful and don't betray us, then we're engaged in a mutually beneficial arrangement. Cross us in any way, however, and you'll never see my blade before it plunges into your heart. Well enough. Ulran and Vea used to sneak out to watch me train. I have a way with blades that fascinated them to no end. Eventually, our fondness developed between the three of us. And to think, I never even had a nick sound growing up. It's not like personal relationships are against the rules, though I suppose they are sort of frowned upon. Anyway, my assignments always brought me back to Vardenfell, so we were able to keep in touch and visit even as they grew older. Anything's possible, but the Ulran I know holds honor above all else. I can't believe he'd do something so dishonorable that the house leaders would demand his exile. We need to find out more about what happened. Vea's young, bored, and stubborn. That makes for a volatile combination. She wants fresh air and freedom. I can't blame her for that. I can blame her for assuming I'm not aware of her little excursions. I thought I trained her better than that. Danger's a relative term, especially when you're dealing with relatives. Vea can make her own decisions. If she wants to risk getting caught by House Redrin, that's on her head, especially since she knows they've been searching that area. Get to the swamp and find Vea. She's eager for any information about her brother, so she's really going to appreciate getting that registry. Just try not to be too charming when you meet her hero. She has enough distractions as it is.
By the three! You really shouldn't sneak up on a person like that. If you're working with those mercenaries, I assure you, you won't take me without a fight. Oh, right. Naryu mentioned something about that. Look, I can't wait to hear what you learned, but the swamp is crawling with mercenaries. There's a cave to the northeast. We can talk there. Unfortunately, there's a mob of those beast people between here and the cave. I was going to try and sneak past them, but every time I get too close, I think one of them catches my scent. You're going to tackle that mob of fur and claws? I'm impressed. Meet me at the cave when you're finished. I think we have a lot to talk about. Oh, and try not to get killed. I really want to know what you came all this way to tell me. Meet me in the cave to the north when you finish with the mercenaries. What do you think of my luxurious accommodations? It's got dirt and rock, fungus and a poultry fire, all the comforts of home. Anyway, you said you had information about my brother, Oran. What did you find out? No, that can't be right. Oran's honorable and noble. He's a model soldier. What could he have possibly done to warrant being banished? What? My brother has always been interested in the Ashlanders. Even showed them a kindness the rest of the house doesn't approve of. But for him to kill someone, especially one of his own soldiers, something terrible must have happened. I know the tribe that Oran liked to help, brought them supplies and such. He'd go and visit their camp whenever our father wasn't paying attention. Will you go with me to talk to them? Wait, someone's coming.
She can handle herself just fine, hero. Vea, grab your things. It's time to go.
Go? Why? What's going on?
The Warclaws are marching toward this cave along with half the House Redrin soldiers in Balmora. We need to go now.
Damn it! They must have followed us. I'll get my stuff.
Dealing with an arrogant, impatient, overconfident young woman. Now I know how my mother must have felt. We need to move. It won't take those damn cats long to find this place, not with their sense of smell. The back tunnels. Better than heading out the front door and right into the main contingent of Redrin troops. Councillor Eris brought additional soldiers from town. He's intent on getting his daughter, and he may have the numbers to do it. One more thing. The back tunnels wind their way through territory that House Redrin recently acquired. We may run into some resistance, but it shouldn't be as bad as what's waiting outside the front of the cave. I'll slow down the main contingent.
Oh no. Father ruins everything. I'm so close to finding my brother and he shows up to drag me back home. Well, I'm not going back without a fight. You do that for me? Thanks, I guess. But what can you possibly do against all those soldiers? My father brought the whole damn army with him this time. Clever. Tell my father whatever he wants to hear. That might actually work. Afterward, meet me at the Ashlander camp to the south. My brother would often visit that particular tribe. It's as good a place as any to start. Once I find Ulran and make sure he's all right, I'll meet with my father. But that meeting will be on my terms, not his. And tell him to call off his soldiers, or I might change my mind. That should buy us some time. Disturbing.
I'm not sure what's going on here, but I bet I'm not going to like the answer. Talk to my apprentice. She's eager to find her brother.
I can't believe this. Why allow the Warclaws to run roughshod over the camp like this? What's House Redrin thinking? And what in the name of the three have they done with the Ashlanders? My brother often visited this camp. Took me along a couple of times. It used to be such a vibrant place, so full of life. I know House Redrin wants to expand along the western coast, but I never expected they'd set the Warclaws loose like this. If Ulran was here, he'd never stand for the Warclaws invading the camp. He told me the Ashlanders were the same as you and I. Different beliefs don't necessarily make people bad. We need to see if we can find out what happened here. I really want to help, but Naryu won't hear of it. We don't get our hands dirty unless there's a writ attached. She's so fond of reminding me. We'll hang around and wait for you to find something before we move in.
Bea, I don't think this is a good idea. We're trying to keep you out of House Redrin hands, remember?
You're not my parent, Naryu. I can take care of myself, even if the Mother of Blades doesn't think so.
Damn it, Vea! You know I hate that title. I'll make sure Vea stays out of trouble. Just find whatever you can so we can get out of here before the War Claws notice us. She only calls me that to annoy me. It's an obscure Morag Tong title given to ranking female agents when they take on apprentices. She's just lucky that as her mentor, I'm not allowed to kill her. You're not that lucky.
No! Oran! Oran! Wake up, please! You can't be dead. You just can't!
Vea shouldn't have had to see this. Even I'm finding it hard to believe that the mercenaries would slaughter these Ashlanders for no reason. Not to mention the son of a house counselor. Doesn't make any sense. I suppose anything could happen in the heat of the moment. But to kill a Redron, even an exiled one, that's presumptuous even for the War Claws. I wonder if Eris knows about this. I'm not sure how Vea's going to get her answers now. I've seen these before. They use them in Eastmarch to record and send important messages. They're expensive and as rare as a sober Nord, but Auron was always attracted to the contrivances of other cultures. Shall we see what it has to say?
If you're listening to my voice, know that my time is short, and what I have to say is important.
Brother, is that you?
Everything that happened was a deliberate act to discredit me. I need to report the events so my sister can learn the truth about her brother. You have to understand, I don't share my house's hatred and distrust of Ashlanders. So, during my normal patrol, when I heard that Ashlanders had come to Balmora and were causing trouble, I was dubious to say the least. I arrived to find one of my soldiers arguing with the Ashlanders. He spat at them, called them savages. When one of the Ashlanders objected, my soldier drew his sword. Before I could intervene, my soldier's blade struck him down. I ordered the soldier to stand down, but he ignored me and stepped toward the second Ashlander. I killed my own soldier. I had to. Before I knew it, I was dragged before the Redoran Council and exiled. I never even got to say farewell to my sister. I believe I was set up for this fall, but I don't know by who. I came to this camp for shelter, but House Redoran's reach grows ever longer. Now Captain Briven's here. I'm going to talk to them, just in case I made this stone for my sister Vea.
Oran! Damn it! What am I supposed to do now? Oran's not supposed to be dead. That wasn't the way this was supposed to end. What am I gonna do now? Damn Oran for leaving me that damn message! And damn him for dying on me! Gods, I miss my brother. I still don't understand. Oran said someone set him up to fall. Who would do such a thing? And why would they do it? Oran never wanted to hurt anyone. So that's why they exiled him? That's why they killed him? He was too damn good? That's the problem? We've got to find out who did all this. They won't get away with this. I won't allow it. Oh, I'll find them all right. And when I do, they'll pay for what happened to Oran. I swear by Mafala's sacred web and the first blood my blade ever tasted, I'm going to avenge my brother.
I agree with Ulron's assessment. Certainly sounds like someone led him into a situation guaranteed to make him fail. I can't believe he put this burden on Vea, though. What was Ulron thinking? I didn't say that. I'm just not sure how to proceed. We're entering dangerous waters here, going up against House Redrin, and we don't even have a writ to protect us. I'm going to take Vea and head back to our safe house in Balmora. I found our cave, but the abandoned basement is still secure. After that, I'm not sure. The Morag Tong has rules. If I break them, I'll have to deal with the consequences. We can't just kill with wild abandon. We follow a code. We only execute those whose names appear on sanctioned writs. If we kill respectable citizens without a writ, that's just murder. So, without proof and a proper writ, my hands are tied. You do that, but be careful. We're not sure who in House Redrin is involved, and I'd rather not see you wind up like these poor Ashlanders. Bea and I still need your help to get to the bottom of all of this. We'll see you in Balmora, hero. I'll get Vea back to Balmora and try to figure out our next move. Stay alert when you meet with Councillor Eris. There's no telling who's involved in Ulron's exile and subsequent murder.
Oh, it's you. Sorry about that. Did Arshor send you to check up on me? I swear, the next person that treats me like a child is gonna find my dagger in their stomach. Gods, I'm not mad at you. I'm just annoyed at everybody right now. No, I don't think so. It's just been difficult. Finding poor Ulran in the Ashlander camp. I need to be doing something. Sitting down here in the dark, hiding, that's not gonna solve anything. I know, but Naryu's writ, it involves a Redoran councillor. Exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for. The councillor knows who set up my brother. We need to talk to her before Naryu executes the writ. Do this for me, and I promise to stay here. Well, Naryu wouldn't tell me any specifics, but she trained me well. It wasn't hard to sneak a glance at the writ before she took off. Her target's at Arenum Manor, out in the swamp. Not far from that smelly cave, actually. I appreciate you agreeing to see what you can learn at Arenum Manor. My father used to say it was used by councillors as a retreat, but Mother always told me it was where they conducted business that required a certain degree of privacy. That's all I've been doing, thinking. And I think Ulran was right. I think someone wanted him out of the way, and they orchestrated the event with the Ashlanders to do it. Someone played my brother for a fool, and it cost him his life. Briven's as stubborn as my father when it comes to following the rules and regulations of House Redoran. Ulran and Briven were best friends, even if they argued from time to time. Politics, foreign relations, the Ashlanders, you name an issue, and Ulran and Briven were probably on opposite sides of the argument. It got to the point where I had to ignore both of them or they'd drive me insane. You did? How did he take it? I mean, he didn't know that my brother was dead. Really? I suppose that makes sense. I think he loves us, in his own way. But what else did he say? Did he know that Ulran had been banished? He didn't expect... My father doesn't know his children as well as he thinks. Either of them. That's why I had to get away. Join the Morag Tong. At least Naryu understands me. Mostly. I can't agree to that. I need to figure out what happened to my brother, who was involved, and then I'm going to make them pay. Just you watch. I appreciate you agreeing to see what you can learn at Arenum Manor. My father used to say it was used by councillors as a retreat, but Mother always told me it was where they conducted business that required a certain degree of privacy.
I expected you hours ago, hero. It's not polite to keep an assassin waiting. I was wondering how long it was going to take Vea to convince you to follow me. Bet she thought I didn't notice when she glanced at my writ, didn't she? Where is my overly curious apprentice, by the way? I know Vea wants answers, but this is my job. There are rules, especially where the lords of the great houses are concerned. There might be a way to deal with this, though, provided you're willing to help. First, don't kill any Redrons. That's a violation of my writ and could have serious consequences for both of us. Second, you sneak around and search for anything that pertains to Ulron's exile, while I figure out how to deal with the Counselor. We need to be invisible. These things work best when no one but the target knows we're there. If you get spotted, you're on your own. I even cough on anyone without a writ, and the Morog Tong will have my head. It's unusual, but not unheard of. True, most writs taken out against the houses target low to mid-ranking officials. The Grand Master is cautious when it comes to accepting such a high-profile writ. Apparently, though, this target has been very bad. Councillor Dovera has been conspiring with House Drez to promote the slave trade and avoid scrutiny by Redrin and Pact officials. She played a dangerous but profitable game, and her coffers were overflowing, until someone noticed. I'm not privy to the laborious investigations that took place. In cases like these, though, the target usually becomes complacent and lets her guard down. She made a mess. Now I get to clean it up, for the good of Dunmer society. That's the question, isn't it? It nags at us the way the torchbug nags at the brave little scrib in those children's stories. Once we discover who Ulron's torchbug is, we'll have a clearer understanding of why they set him up and why he had to die. I'm not saying that. Accidents happen. But they certainly made sure Ulron was in the wrong place at the wrong time, both in Balmora and again in the Ashlander camp. In addition to whatever you can find here, we should also talk to Captain Briven. Briven's name keeps coming up. At the very least, he was Ulron's best friend once. He might be able to shed some light on Ulron and what happened to cause his exile. And I really want to know what took place after Ulron left us that message. Vea's my apprentice, and I'll decide when she's ready to take on a mission. She's been through a lot, and her actions reflect on me and my status in the Morog Tong. She may not appreciate it right now, but I'm trying to keep the both of us on track. That's how it works. Her actions are my actions. Vea goes out and executes 3 writs. I share the credit and get praised for training my apprentice. On the other hand, if she kills someone without a writ, the Morog Tong takes both our heads. There have to be. My order came this close to being eliminated. It's only recently that we've started to make a comeback, and only in Dunmer territory. If we can't control the actions of our members, we'll be hunted down and destroyed for sure. We need to be invisible. These things work best when no one but the target knows we're there. If you get spotted, you're on your own. I even cough on anyone without a writ, and the Morog Tong will have my head. See what you can find pertaining to Ulran. I've got a dagger and a writ with Councillor Dolvara's name on them. If we don't find anything, maybe we can ask for an invitation to the upcoming council meeting. I'm sure they'd be happy to answer our questions.
Nothing is certain until it happens.
So House Redoran issued an advisory against the Morag Tong? Fat lot of good that's going to do the Councillor. Damn the luck. I was hoping for a quick stab and go, but it seems the Councillor might actually know something about Ulran. So Councillor Dolvara does know something about Vea's brother. Damn it all. Now I suppose you want to actually talk to her before I execute the walking pile of pond scum. Of course we do. I specifically waited for you to arrive because I figured that would be the case. Still doesn't mean I'm happy about blurring the line between helping Vea and performing my duty as a Morag Tong. We discovered that the next meeting of the High Council will take place at the consulate outside Balmra. The war clause and the Ashlander abuse aren't completely sanctioned by the House, and Dolvara was present when Ulran was exiled. Not a bad haul. That means we have to get Dolvara to spill her guts before I spill her guts. Just keep your wits about you, hero. Dolvara wields her feminine charms the way I wield my daggers. Don't let her seduce you into doing something stupid before I end her. According to my sources, the Councillor's expecting her contact from House Dres to arrive shortly. I think this is the first time they're meeting in person, so maybe you can use that to get close to her. Be quick with your questions, hero. When I slip in, so do my daggers.
You must be here about those pesky patrol schedules. After all that clandestine correspondence, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Now, come closer so we can celebrate our partnership in a proper fashion. Well, look at you. I'm impressed. The last person House Dres sent over was so much more scruffy. I have a meeting with House Halalu shortly, but I think I can spare a few more moments for you. To seal our partnership, you understand? The noble's banished son? Why does House Drez care about that? Never mind. Anything so we can get to the good stuff. Ulron was tested and found wanting. Chose the life of a savage over his own soldier. We stripped him of his rank and exiled him. Ulron's dead? I hadn't heard. As to who was behind the test of Ulron's loyalty, what does that matter? He failed and paid the price for his poor choices. What does all this have to do with our arrangement?
You aren't clever enough, or pretty enough, to avoid what's about to happen, Dolvra.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you people?
I'm a Morag Tong with a writ that says you're a criminal and a traitor. That means I get to end your miserable existence.
Did you hear something?
Take another look around, hero, and see if you can find anything else related to Ulron.
Keep your weapons sharp and close.
Alakir massage oils? Fancy. But that has nothing to do with Ulron. More proof that Dolvra was in bed with both House Halalu and House Drez. That's Captain Briven's seal. I suppose our evil counselor courted favor wherever she could find it. The good Captain Briven appears to be more involved in Ulron's fate than I had imagined. He never struck me as the type to use murder and deceit to get ahead, but that's the problem with greed. It causes decent people to make stupid choices. Or he's trying to hide something. The letter mentioned an intact squad sent to scout the old fort. You need to get out there and see what those soldiers know before Briven gives them new orders and they disappear. I suppose she's probably pulled tight as a bowstring waiting to hear something. Go talk to Vea while I present my writ to the authorities. I can't wait to see the look on the Redoran Magister's face when I tell him what his counselor was up to. Go on. Vea should hear what we learned. We're getting closer to the truth, but there's still something missing. I'll meet up with you after I present my writ. Then we can find out what Ulron's soldiers know.
Back again? Took your sweet time. You didn't learn anything, did you? Not that it matters. Ulron's dead and nothing can change that. What good is that going to do? They won't speak to us. House before family and all that. Believe me, I'm more than familiar with Redoran honor. Still, I suppose I know a few ways to get people to talk. More rules. I thought we were beyond those kinds of limitations. Look, I need to figure out who's responsible for Ulron's death. House councillors, Redoran soldiers, Ashlanders, whoever it is, they need to pay. Riven was Ulron's best friend. Would he really betray my brother? Regardless, I want you to have this. You could have handed me to my father, and you didn't. Other than Naryu and Ashur, you might be the only friend I have left. So which soldiers are we talking about? I know most of the people my brother used to work with. Eyewitnesses are better than notes in the house registry, provided I can actually get them to talk to me. There's no time to waste. That fort's near the cave where I was hiding. Last time I was there, the fort was crawling with cultists. We need to find them before Vatala and his soldiers wind up sacrificed to some Daedric prince. We'll get Vatala and his soldiers killed. I know the process. Turning in a writ can take hours, maybe even an entire day. I'll leave Naryu a note. She can meet us at the fort. I'm going. Either come with me or get out of my way. Let me gather my gear and write a note for Naryu. I'll meet you near the Hlormaran stronghold. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am that we'll learn who's responsible for Oran's death soon. Then blood will flow. As far as I'm concerned, rules got my brother killed. They don't apply to me anymore. Besides, to find the soldiers, we're probably going to have to carve a path through those cultists. The Morag Tang won't care about that. That's what the handbook says. Look, I know what Naryu's done for me. To keep me safe, I appreciate that. But this is about what they did to my brother. Nothing else matters. Not Naryu, not you. And certainly not me. No, never. You and Naryu aren't my enemies. I just need to get justice for Ulran. Otherwise his death will be the first of many. We have to be able to resist laws that make no sense or get people hurt, without being afraid of getting exiled. I know Vatala. He's a typical Redoran soldier, loyal to a fault, always spouting nonsense about house and honor above all. He was devoted to my brother, though. Ulran considered him to be one of his best. Ulran had a habit of putting the needs of others ahead of his own. He probably told Vatala and his soldiers to remain quiet. Decided to take responsibility and save them any heartache. I hope these soldiers remember that when we find them. Let me gather my gear and write a note for Naryu. I'll meet you near the Hlormaran stronghold. You're here, I'm here, the damn cultists are here. You know who isn't here? Vatala and his squad. They're probably hiding. Or dead. They better not be dead. Naryu's probably busy clearing her writ, and we don't have time to wait. This opportunity to learn more about what happened to Ulran won't last much longer. We need to find that squad of soldiers. Fine. You wait for Naryu. I'm going to go and find those soldiers. Their orders were to scout the old stronghold. I suggest we search along the outskirts and see if we can pick up their trail. We need to find those soldiers. A Redoran officer's sword. No Redoran soldier would leave that behind willingly. We need to find those soldiers. I won't...
Do you think we had anything to do with that? Why would a daydream princess?
He's not the sharpest arrow in the quiver.
How did the Ashlanders find out about the relic?
Corporal Darvel. But the others, they're civilians. They must have taken Tellan's soldiers inside. Locked. Figures. Let's see if one of these damn cultists has a key.
Can the High Priestess replace the item?
get inside and find the others before it's too late. Let's find the soldiers and get out of here before these stupid cultists realize what's happening.
Who's there? We won't let you take us without a fight. Wait, Vea, is that you?
Thank the three! You're all still alive!
Ah, another sacrifice for the Prince of Bargains.
I'm not sure what you and Vea are doing here, but let us out. Then we can return Vea to her father. Councillor Eris has been terribly worried since she disappeared. This isn't the time or the place to have that discussion. Get the key to this cage and then we can find a private place to talk. One of the cultists carries the key. I don't think he's too far away. We hear him patrolling around every so often. Free us, and I'll tell you whatever you want to know. You have my word as a Redoran and as an officer.
You find the key. Me and Vatala. We're going to have a little chat while we're waiting.
Vea, I'm just trying to protect you.
From what? The truth? Oh, please. I want to know who did this to my brother.
Suffering exists.
I knew I shouldn't have told Vea the truth. I just made everything worse. Please let us out of here. We have to stop Vea before she does something she'll regret. I told her what she wanted to hear. I was with Captain Ulran the day everything happened. I was commanded to lure the Ashlanders to town and set up a situation for Ulran to deal with. My orders were to invite the Ashlanders to Balmora to trade, send some local toughs to instigate a commotion, and then get Ulran to investigate. It was just supposed to be a loyalty test. Who expected Ulran to kill his own soldier to save a savage? Captain Briven, though he was still a lieutenant at the time. As soon as I explained all this to Vea, her face turned dark and she stormed out of here. I think she's going to Balmora to kill him. You need to let me out so I can warn the captain. Thank you. Now, get to Balmora and stop Vea before she does something she'll regret.
There, hero. We've got a situation and it's not good. I leave you and Vea alone for a couple of hours and everything goes to oblivion in an ore cart. Why did Vea leave the safe house? And why is House Redoran tearing the city apart to find her? You did what? I suppose you thought that was a good idea? Well, the damage is done. At least tell me you found something to make this debacle a little more palatable. That explains why Vea broke into the kin house. I'm not sure what happened in there, but she certainly stirred up the Redoran soldiers. Vea might still be inside. Or she might have given them the slip. She could be anywhere by now. If Vea kills Briven without a writ, the Morog Tong and House Redoran will both want her head on a silver platter. You check the kin house. I'll grab Ashur and see if we can pick up Vea's trail in the streets. Don't let me down, hero.
House Talvadi still keeps slaves?
Scour the streets. Search the buildings. Vea Relath does not leave this city.
What's the meaning of this? Where are the soldiers? If you're looking for my husband, I'll tell you the same thing that I told that brazen young woman. The council is meeting outside Balmora, and Briven is protecting the councillors. Now, if you don't mind, I've had more than enough excitement for one day. I could barely make sense of the nonsense she was spouting. It was Vea, Councillor Eris's daughter. Everything she said was a ramble. Something about my husband betraying her brother, that my Briven had to suffer just as she was suffering. She had a knife, but no, she didn't harm me. She said her brother wouldn't hurt an innocent, that I wasn't responsible for his death. Do you have any idea what she was talking about? Because I certainly don't. You shouldn't get involved. That young woman will hasten her own death if she thinks she can get past my husband and his soldiers. But if you insist, the meeting is taking place at the garrison north of Balmora. Dead soldiers? They were just protecting the kin house. I'll go stay with my sister in Vivek. Briven is the finest soldier I know. He'll set Vea straight.
I've lost hope.
Please tell me you found Vea. I can already feel the cold steel of the executioner's blade on the back of my neck. Is Vea trying to get herself killed? You can't just barge into a Redren garrison and ask the soldiers to stand aside while you murder their captain? We have to get to her before she gets to Briven. She murdered soldiers without a writ. This is a dark path she's decided to follow. And unless we play this just right, it's not going to end well for any of us. Let's find Vea and put a stop to this. We can deal with any consequences after that. I can't believe my apprentice might be responsible for causing the Morag tongue to fall out of favor again. And she's not alone in this. I'm right there with her, about to plunge my career into the sewer. I hope we can talk some sense into her. I don't like the looks of this. Briven is using war claws to patrol the garrison instead of Redren soldiers. Either house forces are stretched thinner than I thought, or Briven wants to justify the use of mercenaries to the council. Maybe nothing, maybe everything. We know Ulron refused to employ mercenaries. He hated counting on thugs to do the right thing. I expect the Redren Council feels the same. Maybe Briven's trying to show them what the war claws can do. The war claws may be a blessing in disguise. I can explain killing these bastards a lot easier than trying to wipe Redren blood off my hands. Let's go stop Vea. I'm ready when you are, hero. There's no stealthy way to approach this. The front door's our only option. Then we track down Briven, find Vea, bonk her on the head, and get her out of here before she does something I can't fix. Easy as gore apple pie. Glad to see we all made it. Now let's find Virian before Rhea skewers him.
This one wonders if the meat of shaveskins is tasty. Face me! You will give Khajiit some motion, yes?
Nothing yet, eh? I haven't so much as heard or seen even a whisper of Virian yet. Just lots of snarling war claws. If we can't get through this door, there's only one other way to go. It's always important to figure out where a target keeps its wine. In this case, down in the cellars. There's a staircase back where we first came in. And if we still don't find Virian or Vea, well, at least there'll be plenty to drink. And I'll figure out how to get this door open, just in case. You know, attending a House Veteran Council meeting was always a secret goal of mine. Right after getting a lusty Argonian maiden to scrape my flesh raw with her abrasive tongue.
Captain Virian is on his way. He has a permanent job in House Veteran, yes?
Sounds like a... You! What are you doing here? Explain yourself! What in the name of the three are you up to? I thought you worked for Counselor Eris. You better have a damn good reason for killing the mercenary leader. I ought to sound the alarm and let her warriors deal with the likes of you. Vea? She's barely out from under her mother's apron and she presumes to judge my actions? No matter. Whatever your motives, nothing justifies the blatant killing of Ferhara and her mercenaries. Counselor Eris can't protect you this time, Outlander. Ah, now everything becomes clear. Vea learned something of her brother's fate and wants to retaliate. Then let her come. But know this, I merely set the events in motion. I didn't conceive the plan. You're looking for the responsible party. Then look no further than Counselor Eris. He wanted to prove his son's loyalty to the House, to show that Oren's fascination with the savage Ashlanders hadn't corrupted him. Well, look how that turned out. A test Oren failed. Eris was devastated when his son sided with the savages, and his daughter ran away. He decided to resign his position. He'll make the announcement today. Eris hopes to restore his family, but I think it's a lost cause.
That's for Oren. Choke on your own blood, you bastard. My father, the entire council, they're all guilty. They all have to die. I have to do this, so stay out of my way.
Vea actually did it. She killed Brivin in cold blood. Vea killed Brivin without a writ. It was pure, focused rage. I never expected her to go through with it. If Vea doesn't get herself killed up there, the Morag Tong will hunt her down and execute her, like a rabid gua. Her and me both. I'm not sure they deserve to be saved, but that's what we have to do. Vea can't be allowed to kill the counselors. We have to stop her. It's more than me and Vea's lives on the line. Something like this could destroy the Morag Tong. The Morag Tong only recently began to find acceptance again. Vea's actions don't just reflect badly on me. They could be used to force us back into the shadows, maybe even disband us all together. We're both going to have to answer for this. We have to get ahead of her. Cut her off. There's a door on the main floor, near the kitchens, that should allow us to come at the council meeting from another direction. I was able to get it open when I was scouting around up there. Let's go. Nothing's more important than reaching the council meeting. If the mercenaries get in our way, cut them down.
Father? I'm here. Come out and tell me why you killed my brother.
We're safe in here. There's no need to panic.
No need to panic. She's cut down every mercenary in her way. Her father won't be able to stop her.
Vea's getting close. We're running out of time. Me try to open this door.
Vea, daughter. I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen.
Come on, stubborn, stupid look.
Father, why? Does the house really matter more than your own son?
I needed to protect Ulron, to prove his loyalty. If I could do it all over again.
But you can't. None of us can. That's why I have to do this.
That's an order.
I'm not your apprentice anymore. The house has grown corrupt, evil. That's why all the councillors have to die. No more rules! No more secrets! House Redoran falls today!
Enough, Vea! This isn't the way!
So much needless death. If only Eris would have listened. Outlander, we should speak. I think we can help one another. The Morag Tong agent. She cares deeply for Vea, doesn't she? It takes great courage to go against your heart and do what you know is best. You both did that by protecting the Council. For that, you have my thanks. A series of regrettable decisions led to this family tragedy, and most of them were made by Eris Relith. I knew of Ulron's compassion concerning the Ashlanders. It was unorthodox, but not worthy of the punishment meted out. Eris was wrong. Eris convinced Briven to test Ulron. Then the two of them decided to slaughter the Ashlanders. Oh, the Council allowed itself to be convinced that exile was an appropriate punishment, but we were wrong to let it go as far as it did. I didn't say that, but we're not butchers. We do not hire mercenary thugs to wipe out an entire people. This gathering was to deal with that. Eris planned to step down, and we were going to demote Briven for the part he played. House Redoran behaved poorly. Morag Tong rules were violated. I suggest we make sure these details never see the light of day. Leave the bodies where they are. We will say that Vea died protecting her father and the Council from the War Claws. Cooperate with House Redoran and hold your tongues. It's as simple as that. I shall return to the Council meeting and conclude our business. When we're finished, I expect you and Naryu to both be gone. That is all, Outlander.
I'm not sure about this. It's a generous offer, but those are some big secrets to sweep under a rug. Besides, Vea isn't dead. At least not yet. She's still breathing. The High Counselor thinks we killed her. The deal hinges upon all of us forgetting this sorry mess ever happened. Besides, once Vea regains her senses, there's every likelihood that she'll try to kill the Counselors again. When have I ever been able to convince Vea to do anything she didn't want to do? There's Redoran blood on Vea's hands. Once the Morag Tong ties those unauthorized murders to her, she's as good as dead anyway. And, more than likely, so am I. I don't see many options. We can either finish off Vea now, and go along with the High Counselor's deception, or we slip out of here with Vea and send her far, far away. She broke her vows and deserves to die. I know that, but it still feels wrong. You're right. If anyone's to blame for all this, it's me. I wasn't a good enough mentor. If for no other reason, Vea deserves a second chance. Look, you need to leave. We'll meet back in Walmra. And Hero, thanks. Go on. I'll get her out of here before the council notices and meet you in Balmora. Get going. We'll meet back at the safe house in Balmora.
How many times have I told you not to stick your blade in your apprentice's, Naryu? She'll live, but she can't stay here. Not after what she's done.
I've got that covered. Vea won't be staying in Vardenfell. Ashur did an outstanding job. For an assassin, he's got a gift for the healing arts. Vea's going to live. Now I just have to convince her to listen to me this time. And as far as she knows, she did. Now Vea needs to disappear. Otherwise, both Redrin and the Morag tongue will go after her. Believe me, nobody survives that kind of attention. Vea didn't ask for everything that happened. She only wanted justice. I've arranged for a ship captain I know to meet us in Vivec City. From there, Vea will sail to Somerset and rendezvous with an associate of mine. He's kind of furry and a bit of an arse, but he's good people. He'll take care of Vea. As long as everyone sticks to the bargain, I go about my usual business. A writ here, a nice bath there, maybe a few intimate encounters along the way to relieve the tension, you understand. I just hope Vea's good with all this. She has to be. Always, hero. Oh, hey, I want you to have this. Something to remember me by until we meet again. I hope you don't leave here with the impression that all dark elves are conniving dirtbags. Some of us are also kind of sexy. Like me, for instance.
Naryu. What happened?
Quiet, Vea. Rest now. We can talk later.
This goes against every protocol, but I couldn't let poor Vea bleed to death. I patched all the holes you people put in her, and she should recover given time.
Vea needs her rest. I don't want any of Ashur's stitches to split open before she's had a chance to fully heal. If you want a last word with Vea, we'll be in Vivec City for a bit before her ship sets sail.
I don't have to go, you know. I can help clean things up around here. I know how to keep a low profile.
This isn't up for debate. You're going.
Naryu thought you might stop by. You probably hate me, and I completely understand. I'm still glad you showed up, though. I lost my brother. I killed my own father. I kind of went crazy out there for a while. I don't think I'll ever put this completely behind me. But I'll do what Naryu asks. I'll go away, finish my training. Try to make a new start. Oh, to Somerset. But don't tell anybody. She was quite adamant about that. She's given me a letter of introduction for some highfalutin Khajiit. Works for a queen or something. Anyway, he's going to be my new mentor. Look, I'm sorry. Ulran's death made me crazy. That's no excuse. But I'm never going to forgive House Redrin for the attitudes that brought us here. I'm done with them. Take care of Naryu. I don't want her to get hurt because of me. Naryu thought you might stop by.
How did I know you were going to show up, hero? Can't get enough of my smiling face, I know she tried to murder a kin house full of counselors, but Vea deserves to see a friendly face before I send her away. She spilled Redrin blood without a writ. She broke the rules of the Morag Tong. As I see it, I don't have a choice. Vea needs to remain dead in the eyes of Vardenfell. Otherwise, we'll all have to pay for the damage she's done. Only if it fails, and that's not going to happen. Somerset is far enough away that no one will find her. Besides, Vea needs time to heal and make a fresh start. She'll be fine. Her new mentor is a pussycat compared to me. How did I know you were going to...